Hi, my name is Gao and welcome to Dr. Gao's classroom. I'm a professional philosopher and I love classical Chinese poetry. I have been translating classical Chinese poetry for the last few years with a colleague of mine. I'd love to share my knowledge on the subject with you. Your enjoyment is my command. In my last few videos about Gao Shi, I translated and analyzed several poems by Gao Shi. These poems expresses his ambition and passion to achieve great things. He was quite lucky to be recruited by the great general Geshu. As I mentioned in my last video, Geshu was one of the three great Tang generals along with Gao Shi and Fēng who made their names into the old history of Tang dynasty. Geshu's military prowess was celebrated even during his lifetime. Between 747 to 749, Geshu won many battles against the Tibetan army. During the 2 years of 752 and 753, he defeated the Tibetan and conquered the region in the upper part of the Yellow River called Jiu, or the Nine Bands, as shown in the map. For his military achievement, Geshu was promoted over and over again. By 753, he had been awarded the title of the Prince of Xiping, meaning the prince who brought peace to the western border. Geshu's name was so terrifying to the Tibetans that they would just flee as soon as they heard of him coming. There was a folk song among the people in the western region praising this great general. 北斗七星高，各树叶带刀。至今窥牧马，不敢过林条。Like the 7 polar stars high in the sky, Geshu carries his sword at night. Now we see the Tibetans herding their horse would not dare to cross Lintiao. So today, I'm going to translate and analyze Gao Shi's 九曲池, or the 3 poems on Nine-Band victory. Now, let me read the first poem. 许国从来彻庙堂，连年不为在疆场。将军天上封侯印，御史台上异姓王。Now, let's look at the first 2 lines. 许 means dedicate life to. 国 means state. So 许国 means dedicates one's life to one's country. So we interpret the term rather than translate it literally as loyalty and sacrifice. 从来 means ever. 彻 is often used as an adjective, meaning clear, but here it is used as a verb, meaning clearly understand. So we translate it to be known. Miao means temple. Tang refers to a hall for formal gathering. Miao-tang refers to the court. Lián literally means continuous, but here it is used as an adverb to qualify the following noun. Nián means year. Lián nián means for many years without a break in between. Bu oftentimes means no or not, but here it has no meaning. Wei means act. So 不为 is the same as 为, meaning spend time on the battlefield. 在 means on. 疆 means border. 场 means battlefield. So the 2 lines read, your loyalty and sacrifice are known to the court, and you have spent many years on the border battlefield. 将军天上封侯印，御史台上异姓王。将军 means general. 天上 literally means in heaven, but here it refers to the court. 封 means bestow. Hou means marquis, but here it refers to oath. 4 titles. Yin means seal. 御史 means auditor general. Tai means committee. 御史台 is the name of the auditor general's committee. Shàng means on. Yi means different. Xìng means surname. Wáng means prince. 异姓王 means a prince without the royal surname. Since the Han Dynasty, the title of prince was reserved for members of the royal clan. It is quite rare for someone outside of the royal clan to get the title of prince. But Geshu Han was given the title of a prince even though he was not from the royal clan. That is why Gao Shi addresses him as the prince of a different surname. Geshu Han was first promoted as the auditor general and then was given the title of the prince of Xiping. So he is both an auditor general and a prince without a royal surname. The 2 lines read, "The emperor has bestowed the titles on you at court, not only auditor general but also a prince without a royal surname." Now let's look at the second poem. 万骑争歌杨柳春，千场对舞绣麒麟。到处尽逢欢洽事，相看总是太平人。Now let's look at the first 2 lines. 万骑争歌杨柳春，千场对舞绣麒麟。One means 10,000. 骑 means cavalry. 争 means compete. 歌 means sing. Yang Liu Chun is the name of a folk song collected by the Bureau of Music in Han Dynasty. Here it is used to refer a popular song to celebrate victory, so we translate it as victory song. Tiān means 1,000. Chǎng means place. Dui means face to face. Wu means dance. Xiu means embroidery. Qilin refers to unicorn. An auspicious animal symbolizes that the current emperor was wise and beneficent. 绣麒麟, here it is used to describe the embroidered unicorn. 10,000 cavalry compete in singing a victory song. The unicorn dance is performed in 1,000 places. 到处尽逢欢洽事，相看总是太平人。到处 means everywhere. 尽 means all of them. 逢 means encounter. 欢洽 means happy. 事 means affair. 相 means each other. 看 means regard. 总 means always. 是 means is or as. 太平 means peacetime. 人 means people. So the 2 lines read, everywhere all of them encounter a happy state of affairs. They regard each other as people of peacetime. 铁骑横行铁岭头，西看罗嗦取封侯。青海只今将印马，黄河不用更防秋。Now, let's look at the first 2 lines. 铁骑横行铁岭头，西看罗嗦取封侯。铁 means iron. 骑 means cavalry. 横行 means run riot. 铁岭 is probably a mountain along the western border, which haven't been located today. However, there is a city in the northeast named Tieling today. But this is certainly not the Tieling mentioned here because this region belonged to Bohai Guo, and its name was Fuzhou during the Tang Dynasty. It was not until Ming Dynasty this region was named Tieling. So we just translated it as iron hill. 头 means summit. Xi means west. Kan means look. Luoshuo was the name of the capital of Tibetan Empire during the Tang dynasty. It is located in today's Lhasa, so we just translated it as Lhasa. Qu means to earn. Féng means to be awarded. Hou refers to a title. So this line implied that the general's intention was to conquer the capital, hence the whole Tibetan empire. So the two lines read, the Iron Cavalry ran riot around the Iron Hill's summit. They looked to the west to conquer Lhasa for a title. 青海至今将印马，黄河不用更防丘。青海 means Green Lake. 指 means only. 今 means today or now. Yin here pronounced in the fourth tone rather than the usual third tone, meaning to water a cattle or a horse. Ma means horse. 黄河 refers to the Yellow River. 不 means no. 用 means need. 更 means again. 仿 means God. 秋 means autumn. So Huanghe here refers to the region along the upper part of the Yellow River, which was Tibetan territory before Geshu Han conquered it. The Tibetans used to come downstream along the Yellow River to raid the farming villages during the autumn harvest season for food. So we translate Fang Qiu as to guard the harvest. So the two lines read, Green Lake is now only used for watering horses. There is no need to guard the harvest along the Yellow River. Gao Shi's poem to celebrate Geshu Han's victory is quite different from those of Chen Shen in celebrating Feng Changqing's victory. There is little detailed description of the battles themselves, but rather focusing on the loyalty and sacrifices of this great general and his military prowess and the joy felt by his army and the common people. If Chen Shen was simply inspired by Feng Changqing and Gao Xianzhi's military achievement and wanted to emulate them, Gao Shi had no intention to be like Geshu Han. Instead, his perspective was from a scholar official who cares more about the welfare of the soldiers and the common people, that they would be able to drive the Tibetans away and protecting the common people so that they would enjoy a peacetime, that they did not have to guard their harvest every autumn, etc. This goals aligns quite well with the Confucian ideal for a scholar official, whose ideal was to provide saintly counsels for the emperor. It was probably this ideal that motivated Gao Shi to work as a county sheriff, even though he resented the job immensely, as well as motivated him to continue to pursue a political career while all his friends, such as Li Bai, Du Fu, and Chen Shen, all failed one way or another. When Geshu Han was promoted as the Auditor General, Gao Shi was also promoted to be 监察御史, or an auditor, along with Geshu Han. Unfortunately, Geshu Han had a stroke during February 755 and went back to the capital for treatment. When the two great generals Feng Changqing and Gao Xianzhi were executed for their defeat against An Lushan's rebellious force, Geshu Han was ordered to defend Tongguan to protect the capital. Gao Shi, of course, was on his side at Tongguan. Geshu Han and Gao Shi, like Feng Changqing and Gao Xianzhi, realized that the best strategy was to defend Tongguan and waited for An Lushan's force to run out of supply and retreat. However, due to the court politics, Geshu Han was forced to go out of Tongguan to fight analysed. According to Xin Tang Shu, or the new history of Tang Dynasty, Geshu Han cried out loud when he was marching out of Tongguan Pass because he knew that there was very little chance that he would defeat analysed. Not surprisingly, his 200,000 strong army was defeated, and only 8,000 soldiers ran back to Tongguan. One of his subordinate officers tricked Geshu Han to go out of the fortress and kidnapped him and took him to Luoyang and surrendered to analysed. Geshu Han also surrendered to analysed once he met the latter. A year later, when the rebel force was defeated by the crown prince Li Heng, analysed's son and Qingxu murdered Geshu Han. A great general died under extremely tragic circumstances. After Geshu Han lost Tongguan, Emperor Li Longji fled Chang'an. Gao Shi met the emperor on his way to Sichuan and defended Geshu Han, claiming that he was loyal to the emperor, and Geshu Han's defeat was due to circumstances. The emperor regretted that he ordered Geshu Han to go out of Tongguan Pass to fight analysed and promoted Gao Shi to be the auditor in attendance. The emperor divided the imperial army into different forces and ordered each of the princes to lead a force to fight in different regions. Gao Shi argued against it vehemently, but the emperor went ahead anyway. Soon a prince named Li Lin rebelled, and that's right, he was the prince who invited Li Bai to join him. Li Bai naively believed that the prince would succeed and composed a set of 11 poems in the title of Wáng Dongxing Ge, or the songs for Prince Yong's eastern expedition. Since Yong's army was quickly defeated by a force led by Gao Shi and several other generals, Li Lin was captured and later executed in February 757, and Li Bai was implicated and exiled to Yāng, a remote region located at today's Hunan province, but was pardoned before he reached Yāng. So if you want to know more about Li Bai's story, you can check out my videos here. Between 757 and 763 AD, Gao Shi fought many battles against the rebelling forces, as well as defending the southwest border in Sichuan, and was promoted many times. In 764, at the age 61, he was appointed as the deputy minister of the Ministry of Justice and awarded the title of Bohai Xianhou, or the Marquis of Bohai. Gao Shi finally realized his goal to become a high-rank official like his grandfather. Gao Shi passed away in 765 AD at the age of 62. Although Gao Shi was a late bloomer, he was very successful as a scholar official. His political insights not only saved his life several times, but also helped him to achieve his political ambition without compromising his moral integrity. Unlike Li Bai, Wang Changling, Du Fu, even Chen Shen, Gao Shi seemed always make the correct decision, while others fall into a pitfall that they could not get out. The most dangerous situation was when Geshu Han was defeated and many of his subordinate officers decided to surrender. Gao Shi, among all the chaos and confusion, decided to cheat the emperor and aligned his force with the crown prince, who later became the new emperor. Some scholars questioned Gao Shi's integrity because he did not defend Li Bai. I don't agree with this view. Given what Gao Shi knew at the time, Gao Shi was against the emperor's decision to pitch the princes against each other because there was already a crown prince who was the legit heir to the throne, and he should be trusted with all the imperial army when the emperor was too old to lead the army. From Gao Shi's point of view, Prince Yong Lilin's eastern expedition amounts to rebellion. Li Bai's decision to join Prince Yong was to commit a crime of treason. Even though they were friends before, Gao Shi would not defend Li Bai. In my next video, I'm going to resume my talk about Taoist philosophy. I will talk about Zhuangzi's idea of yáng or nurturing life. Zhuangzi believed the reason we do not live out our natural lifespan is because we do not nurture our life and squandered our vitality by chasing superficial things such as power, wealth, or fame. The right way to nurture our life is to align our lives with the cosmic rhythm or the music of heaven. So I would explain Zhuangzi's view in my next video and translate a story from Zhuangzi chapter 3. If you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos on classical Chinese poetry, philosophy, or medical literature. If you like the content of these videos, please click the like button and subscribe my channel. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on these subjects. If you would like to read the original text, please contact me. Here's my email address. Otherwise, thank you for viewing my video and I'll see you next time.